giving you the raw content that you deservedly need. Please like and share this video throughout all social media platforms. We are live, we are live, we are live. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to share this video throughout all social media platforms. Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Let me know, let me know, let me know. So tonight, as you know, Brandon Miller will be playing his Summer League debut against the Spurs. It's going to be a matchup that you all wanted to see. I doubt that Victor Wembanyama is going to play in this game. In my opinion, I think that Victor Wembanyama is just resting because he just played in the French playoffs, which is understandable. The Spurs do things a certain way. What I do not want to hear is Victor Wembanyama's not playing today because he's ducking the smoke. That's not true at all. And if it was him, he would probably want to play today. But I'm excited just to see how Brandon Miller looks. One thing's for sure about Brandon Miller, he's going to show up on defense. He's going to score without the basketball. Shout out to the Pope B. Frank. Make sure to subscribe to his channel. Yeah, what it do, fam, man? Hey, that video you did yesterday was dope, man. And shout out to Hoop Jargon. He been doing these car videos, so I decided to give it a try. So all I want to see from Brandon Miller is the traits that fits to his game. Shout out to my dog, Ken Clark of KC 1400 Media. Subscribe to his channel. A real one, a great brother, man. So my expectations of Brandon Miller is very simple. How you look within the offense, what types of shots he takes, leadership qualities. These are things I want to see. Now, people ask me what I think the start lineup may be. It's probably Book Knight at the 1, even though he's a combo guard, more of a shooting guard. But Book Knight at the 1, Bryce McGowan at the 2, Brandon Miller at the 3, and then I don't think that Mark Williams is playing in the Summer League. He's proved it throughout the second half of the season that he is going to be a very dominant player at the 5 position. So the Hornets do not need to play Mark Williams. I can't wait to see Amari Bailey. I think Amari Bailey is going to show you all what he's capable of, not just as a defender. See, people, when they think of Amari Bailey, they think of defensive ace. I think that's just how UCLA plays. You know, Mick Cronin teams used to coach at Cincinnati. They're a defensive-minded team that never cared about offense. So Amari Bailey really didn't get to show the offensive repertoire that he's capable of like you saw in high school. He will be able to show it in the Summer League. The Pope says, I'm definitely looking to see what he's going to bring out. I am too. And let's keep it real. Just because people say that Scoot Henderson, I'm not trying to bring up Scoot Henderson, but let's put this out there. Just because people say that Scoot Henderson's the best prospect, that's not a shot at Brandon Miller and his game. I still think that Brandon Miller can be a very talented player in this league. But let's be real, Scoot Henderson, and you could talk about the shot percentage and all that, it's correctable because Scoot Henderson's shot, his form is not the problem. It's consistency to make the shot, which he can improve on. So he never had a bad shooting form. Let's put that out there. But I think Scoot Henderson is going to be a star in the making. And if Victor Wembanyama wasn't in this draft, he would have been the #1 pick. But I'm not going to fault the Hornets for taking Brandon Miller based on fit. I think Brandon Miller provides an element to this team that's desperately needed, because not too many guards on this team, the Hornets that is, are willing to defenders. Let's be honest. They're not. Terry Rozier doesn't want to defend. The only guard that I could think of that actually wanted to defend is Dennis Smith Jr., and he's with the Nets now. Tell me if I'm lying, family. Tell me if I'm lying. Shout out to Rap God. The Pope B. Frank says, I want to see his defense. Me too. For those who just got in, make sure to like this video, share this video throughout all social media platforms as we talk about tonight's Summer League game, expectations. What do y'all think that Brandon Miller should average in the Summer League? If he could average 12 to 15 points, I'm good. I just want to see what his skill set will look like. Now, if Brandon Miller tonight scores, let's say about 20 plus points, you won't hear any complaints from me. The Pope says 15 easily. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Rap Guy says 14 points. Yeah, the 12 to 15 range. That's what I think. That's true, Pope. That is definitely true. How he controls the game, meaning Brandon Miller. And one thing about Brandon Miller, looking at his film, he's not a ball hog at all. And that truly fits with LaMelo Ball's game and being a selfless player. You know, the type of basketball players that come into this league taking bad shots, want to play hero ball, that's not a winning formula. The Denver Nuggets just showed you that playing a team-centric game can take you places. Everyone had a role. Everyone knew that the go-to scorer was Jamal Murray. Shout out to my brother, Ken Clark, because we talked about that. How amazing the Nuggets play as a team. That's great basketball. This is what I want the Hornets to be. Everyone has an identity. And going back to the Nuggets, you see when Jamal Murray, when he's asked upon to be the lead scorer, you don't hear any bite back, any disruption from Jokic, who's the best player on the team. Not one time have you seen Jokic complain that Jamal Murray is the one taking the last shots, is the one taking more shots. Because unlike other players, Jokic knows that he could score at any time if he's asked upon to. And we all understand that Jokic is a top assist go-getter. Now to the Hornets, if they could just see how the Nuggets structure their team using height, team philosophy, and with increased height and athleticism, what that brings? Efficient defense. This is why I want Brandon Miller to play the two-guard position. I'm looking at Twitter, and I see potential starting lineups, and they keep bringing undersized guards and Terry Rozier, who doesn't care about defense, at the 2, and Brandon Miller at the 3, and Brandon Miller needs more muscle to maintain the 3 position. This is what they don't talk about. But next year, what I want to see is LaMelo Ball at the 1. Number 2 is Brandon Miller. Number 3, at the 3 position, that is, Miles Bridges. The 4 position, P.J. Washington, unless they somehow get a taller power forward. Let's just say P.J. Washington at the 4, and at the 5, Mark Williams, who provides instant paint protection. Did you know that Mark Williams' defensive rating in the post was one of the, I think, top 15 in the NBA out of 400 plus players? They could have got Obi Toppin on the trade. Bro. You read my mind, Pope. You read my mind. They damn sure could have gotten Obi Toppin on the trade, but the Hornets, they could have got him for cheap. The Hornets are not making any moves, and they keep saying, oh, this could be a playoff team. And then some Hornet fans who secretly despise LaMelo, secret haters that is, keep saying, well, LaMelo's not winning enough and LaMelo's not doing this. Don't they understand that this organization, the Charlotte Hornets, haven't been winning at a high level in years? And you want to blame LaMelo Ball? He doesn't control roster management. He doesn't control what type of players to acquire. Right, Pope? The others, I call it, quote unquote, they haven't done anything in the league. They're not winners. Gordon Hayward is not a winner, even though he played on a playoff team with the Celtics. We all understand that the Celtics team with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, those are what carried the team. And then Terry Rozier was a 6-man when he played for the Celtics. But they're not winners. LaMelo has been a winner. Do you know that the Hornets have, when healthy, LaMelo has an above 500 record when he's playing in games? That's not a made-up stat. That is actually true. Yeah, I agree, Pope. Obi Toppin is definitely a better choice. Rap Guy says Charlotte fans want him to carry scrubs to the postseason. That's what they're trying to do, and they're not realistic. They're on social media like this. Well, the Hornets, with the roster they have constructed, they should make the playoffs. No excuses for LaMelo. Really? But what roster? These are the same fools that are saying keep Terry Rozier. Now, I've met a lot of cool Charlotte fans who keep it real and trill and not trying to sugarcoat. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to my girl Eternity. Shout out to many others, Aunt James, who are real Charlotte fans that do not sugarcoat anything for their team, who demand perfection from this team. Not the Charlotte fans who make excuses and then hate on LaMelo Ball when they're not winning. When you look at their roster, it's not going to get it done. But a flyer on Obi Toppin would have been an upgrade for the Hornets. He's taller than PJ. He's very athletic. He was very underutilized with the New York Knicks. Obi Toppin is a player that can break out with the right team. And for the Knicks to not use Julius at the 5, and this is just for certain roster starting lineup moves, like not all the time, but they could have did lineups where they put Julius at the 5. Make sure to hit the like button, family. Let's get it to 30 likes. Obi Toppin at the 4. And that would have been an effective small ball lineup, but they never did it. Yeah, Obi would have been perfect with this group. Peace and blessings to Jonathan. What's good, man? Yeah, I'm just chopping it up with the family before I go to work. Now, let's talk about Liangelo Ball. Now, this is definitely a conversation that before I start speaking with a Liangelo Ball, we got to get the likes up so the algorithm can be what it should be. The reality of Liangelo Ball. He has a kid coming up on the way. Congratulations to him. This is adulthood now, Liangelo. And you got to do what's best for your immediate family, your new family. So he's not playing in the NBA right now. He's not on a summer league roster. And I understand, I've seen articles and clippings where Jello says he doesn't want to play overseas. But Liangelo, what I want you to do is to soul search. You may not see this video, but I want you to soul search. What do you want to do that can provide equity and financial gain for your new family, for your newborn? These are questions you have to ask. If I was in Jello's shoes, I would go overseas, whether the NBL, they have a great relationship with the Ball family, or the London Lions. Now, you're going to laugh at the London Lions and say, well, they're not a strong league. But London has a potential economic boost for the family brand. London's one of the biggest cities not only in Europe, but the whole world. You can grow a base out there. And there were the few teams that actually liked Liangelo. Matter of fact, they liked Liangelo more than all the other Ball brothers. Tell me if I'm lying, family. Tell me if I'm lying. Liangelo Ball's an adult now. He can't have his family or anybody else hold his hand. He's got to make a decision to change his life. If I don't care how rich my family is. If I had a super rich family, if let's just put ourselves in Jello's shoes. If we had a rich family, even still, I got to make sure I provide for the family I'm creating and make grown man decisions. How old is Liangelo? What, 26, 25? 5 years from 30 years old? It's time to man up. If I'm Jello, I'm calling my agents and I'm telling them, look, what are the options of me playing besides the NBA? I'm not going to wait on the NBA. That's what I'll be telling my agent. And whatever international opportunity I have to play basketball to prolong my career, I'm taking it. And then I'm going to market myself overseas to expand my brand. I'm telling you right now, if Jello does that, it would be one of the smartest decisions in his career. Because right now, he's just waiting to get back in the NBA, waiting to get back in the G League. And if you keep waiting and waiting and waiting and not getting playing time, then you're going to be waiting for a long time. I've been one of the realest ones in regards to Liangelo Ball in the subject because, as you know, in RawTruth Media, we don't sugarcoat anything. We're not followers. I'm a fan of certain players, but I'm never a follower. I'm a fan of certain YouTube channels, but I'm never a follower. And I advise everyone that's listening to not be followers. In regards to Liangelo Ball, coddling him, because certain fans of his coddle him, let's be honest, and saying that he just got to wait to get to the NBA. The NBA is not a guaranteed thing. The NBA, what, 1.8% can make the NBA? Let me repeat that again for the people in the back. 1.8% can make the NBA. It's never a guarantee. Shout out to Hoop Jargon in the building. Hoop Jargon, he didn't play in the NBA. He played overseas. Just getting to play overseas basketball is even tough because there's different levels and there's a lot of competition around the world. This is that raw truth that you all deservedly need to hear. Because I could easily go around and say, you know what, Jello, he could just wait. Jello can just wait to get to the NBA because his brothers are going to get him in the NBA. See, I'm not going to preach fallacies here. Listen to how weird that sounds. My brothers can get him to the NBA. His brothers can get him to the NBA. No, Jello needs to prolong his hoop career. And stop waiting on people. Because LaMelo Ball, his brother, he got the bag. And he's focusing on taking this team to the playoffs. He has a lot on his plate, deservedly so. And he's trying to take his game to another level to become potentially all NBA. I doubt that he's always worried about what his siblings are doing all the time, respectfully, because he's busy himself. Every video I've seen of LaMelo, he's always working out or promoting. Let me read some of these comments because we're cooking today. Hoop Jargon said exactly. The Pope says, Jello needs to forget basketball, period, and go back to college, get a degree, because he not that sharp. That's what the Pope say. All opinions are welcome. So let's not be emotional, family. If you disagree with me, that's welcome as well. Just be respectful. Yeah, happy Father's Day, late Father's Day to Jello. Yeah, salute to Jello. Shout out to Slim Cahoot. Shout out to Old School. Old School says, DJ Jello, stick it out with Charlotte Hornets as much as possible. Respectfully, brother, it's really hard to say that Jello should stick it out with the Charlotte Hornets because he's not even in the Summer League roster. Matter of fact, Jello is not with the team right now as we speak. And they gave Jello all the opportunity. And they were doing it because, let's be honest, LaMelo's a franchise player and you want to make sure your brother's happy and family's good. Shout out to Terry in the chat. Let's get the likes up to 40, family. Let's get it up to 40. Slim Cahoot said exactly. What if LaMelo contract is signed Liangelo? I don't see that happening. Everything in LaMelo's contract is, I don't think he has any preferential things saying, oh, you better sign my brother. I don't think that happened. Terry in the chat says, hate to say this, but it's time for Jello to cut the life cord and get on his own way and not ride the brothers anymore. Hey, when I said that, they thought I was the bad guy, but I just wanted Jello to be having his own identity. You get what I mean? All I wanted Jello to do was have his own identity. I said nothing wrong with Jello doing it on his own, and you can ask for advice from your family, but when you're in your mid-20s, you got to man up. Matter of fact, when you're in your mid-20s and you're expecting a kid, the responsibility of your own life increases. So you can't do the same stuff anymore. Everything you do is for your kid and your future kids. So all I'm saying is, the reality of Jello is to find anything to gain equity, income, to provide for yourself and your family, your intermediate family, your new family. Because a lot of us that are listening right now, listening to me, if you guys were in Jello's shoes, I know you guys would take advantage of the name. If I had Jello's name, and if I wasn't an NBA player prospect like that, man, I'm calling teams overseas and see what can happen. The Pope says Jello is becoming a joke when basketball is concerned. He stay in relationships more than teams. Shaking my head. Yeah, let's pray for Jello, man. Shout out to Slat. Peace and blessings, brother. Slat says Brandon Miller dropping 20. He got Brandon Miller dropping 25 tonight. I ain't gonna lie. Brandon Miller dropped 25. You know his super fans gonna say, and I like Brandon Miller's game, by the way, but the ones who are super fans of Brandon Miller, they're gonna be saying tonight, if he drops 25, they're gonna be saying that Brandon Miller is the best draft pick in this draft. I'm not gonna say anyone's better than Victor Wembanyama. I'm just saying that right now, unless an injury happens. If you don't think Victor Wembanyama's winning Rookie of the Year, I don't know what to tell you. If you think Victor Wembanyama is not winning Rookie of the Year, you're smoking the best grade of weed that money could buy. If you think that anybody but Victor Wembanyama could win Rookie of the Year, you're smoking the type of weed that make you think you're Donnie Hathaway. Shout out to my sister, Macrina Daniel, peace and blessings. She says, well, Jello can join the reality show on which the girl, oh yeah, his girl should be on that reality TV stuff. Terry in the chat, I do agree that Victor Wembanyama, he will score in the mid-20s. I think he will. And Greg Popovich is going to make sure he does that. The Pope says, good game or bad game. I'm grading Brandon Miller on a curve. It's one game. Right. See, the basketball heads know not to overreact. I don't care if Brandon Miller scores 40. I'm not going to overreact. I don't care if Brandon Miller scores 10 points. I'm not going to overreact. I'm just going to see how he moves without the basketball, like I stated earlier in this video. Team concepts. Things that matter. Oh, yeah, this is a good stream already. Hey, y'all let me know. Do y'all want me to do more of these daily live streams before I run errands and do all that great stuff? Because this has been fun. This has been fun. I'm just chilling, man. Yeah, I think her name is Nikki, baby. That's her name. She be on the Love and Hip Hop, Love and Basketball shows. I don't watch reality TV. Slat says, why isn't Victor Wembanyama playing tonight? I think the Spurs are just giving him a rest. He's been meeting with shoe companies. He just came back from, I think, 2 weeks ago from playing in the playoffs in France. He's been playing a lot of basketball. And you know the Spurs, they know best when it comes to developing, strength and conditioning. So they got a good team over there. But he is, meaning Victor Wembanyama, they reportedly said that his debut is going to be on the 7th of July. They could change it up, but that's what they said. Sea of Dreams says, this is probably the best Hornets roster in history of the team. But that's not really saying much. They need to make some more moves. I agree, Rap God. You gotta be cautious with Wembanyama. He's a franchise player. If they decided, meaning the Spurs, if the Spurs decided to not play Victor Wembanyama for the rest of the summer league, if they decide to, by the way. I wouldn't fault him because you know how good he is. He doesn't have to prove anything to anybody in the summer league. That's how good of a prospect he is. Well, he's not a prospect now. He's just been drafted. That's how good of a player he is. Shout out to Ghost J. He says, Charlotte feels like they don't want to make any knee-jerk moves. Yeah. But when you don't make any moves, don't be surprised when you don't make it far. James Evans says, do you think the Hornets will trade Gordon Hayward? I hope they do. But knowing Charlotte is one of those teams. The moniker for the Charlotte Hornets is, we like our guys. That's the new slogan for Charlotte. We like our guys. WLOG. We like our guys. We need to hashtag that on social media when Charlotte doesn't make any moves. They go in these press conferences. Mitch Kupchak goes around there and says, we like our guys. We like our guys. We don't need any more players. LaMelo has everything he needs. We like our guys. That's the Charlotte Hornets. WLOG. We like our guys. Ain't doing a damn thing. As of now, I think the Hornets can make the AC if everyone's healthy. That's not saying much as of now. But they got to move on from Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward. You mean to tell me you can't get no 3-and-D players who have length that could defend and shoot threes? There's a lot of them in the NBA. To play with LaMelo Ball, you don't necessarily have to be a star, but you have to have that reputation of being accountable, being mature, knowing where to be, playing within the scheme. Because when you have Terry Rozier, and I hate repeating myself with this crap, but I don't think the organization is hearing from certain fans. Terry Rozier is only focused on getting his points. And how many times have you seen Terry Rozier mope around, bitch and complain because he's not getting the shots? I remember I did a live stream with the homie Hoop Jargon. We were laughing in the first half because we were saying that, oh, you know what that means? Because Terry Rozier shot 2 for 8 or 2 for 9. And we were joking and saying, you know what that means? Terry ain't about to guard in the second half, which we were right about. We called it. We was like, man, you know what that means? He shot 2 for 9. He ain't about to play any defense in the second half. That's Terry Rozier. Slim Cahoot says straight up, hey, y'all know I ain't lying. And did you see what the Charlotte old media was trying to do with Dennis Smith Jr.? They were trying to justify losing Dennis Smith Jr. Dennis Smith Jr. was one of the few willingness defenders. He was the best defender on the team. They talked about his three-point percentage. They say, well, he didn't shoot in the 30s in his three-point percentage, but you don't lose top defenders. You're moving backwards. Because I bet you he's going to provide a spark for the Brooklyn Nets. Yeah, let's get it to 50 likes, family. Let's get this video to 50 likes. If you haven't shared this video, make sure to do it because YouTube is tripping. They ain't sending out the notifications. And if I could show you an analytics chart, do y'all know YouTube, for all of my videos, only, I say about 10%, less than 10% are getting their notifications. but that's to be expected. When you talk about real stuff, that's what's going to happen. Terry in the chat says, Dennis Smith Jr. can sneak and start for the Brooklyn Nets. I would not be surprised. Dennis Smith Jr. resurrected his career with Charlotte. Oh, let me turn this on real quick. Gotta make sure to get that. Slack said this is Bognight's year. I hope so. I hope so. We'll see. That's Nick Smith Jr. Nick Smith Jr. is a dog, brother. If y'all think Nick Smith Jr. about to be going to the G League and all that crap, y'all got another thing coming. Nick Smith Jr. will be taking roster spots. You heard it first. And Nick Smith Jr. was the #1 player in his class, was the best prospect in Arkansas. It wasn't Anthony Black starting out. And Anthony Black has game. He should do well with the Orlando Magic. Matter of fact, Anthony Black kind of played like Lonzo Ball a little bit. But let me digress. Nick Smith Jr. had a knee injury, and he came back in the season, late in the season, that affected his draft stock. Because the early mock drafts, Nick Smith Jr. was in the 5 to 10 range that whole time until the knee injury happened. So that's a steal that the Hornets got. Yeah, I could definitely see Nick Smith Jr. being a backup point guard, and he could attack the rack really well, which is one of the weaknesses of the Hornets on offense. Yeah, prayers for Lonzo Ball, man. I feel bad for Lonzo because the Chicago Bulls, people forget this, when Lonzo was playing for the Bulls, they were a top 3 seed. There were some NBA experts that saying maybe the Bulls can come out of the East. I've heard a couple of NBA experts say that. Lonzo running the point, DeMar and Levine scoring, that was dangerous. And then Lonzo had a knee injury. The last 2 weeks before Lonzo got injured, Lonzo was averaging 16 and 12. I'm just talking about the average for those 2 weeks, not the whole season. And I'm not surprised in that his highest points during those 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks, was 16. Because shout out to Who Jargon, he nicknamed Lonzo Ball the King of 16. And the reason why he nicknamed Lonzo the King of 16 is a little joke, but nothing offensive. It's just, joking. Because when Lonzo scores 16 points, he's done with scoring. When Lonzo gets to 16 points, he calls it a day and just facilitates the whole day. But I want Lonzo to be healthy. It's going to be tough. He may not come back to the NBA again. If he comes back to the NBA, and I don't care if he averages only 8 points a game, if Lonzo Ball can come back to the NBA, this is what you call storybook worthy. And Lonzo Ball could win Comeback Player of the Year. He's going to be taking a year off. Looking at Lonzo's Instagram, he seems upbeat. He seems at peace. Rap Guy says Hoop is hilarious with the King of 16. Where Hoop Jargon said that, man, I was wondering why he called him the King of 16, and then I watched Lonzo's game, and there was this one game where Lonzo scored 16 points in the end of the second quarter, and Hoop Jargon's like, oh, well, there he goes. He ain't about to score anything else. I said, why is that? He's a King of 16. He get to 16, he ain't going to try to score. But yeah, prayers for Lonzo, man. You know who could learn from Lonzo? Ben Simmons. Because when people were talking about Lonzo's shot, if he can't make no shots and how his form looked, Lonzo worked on his game. Didn't complain about it. Didn't trip about it. Lonzo just kept up and worked. Where you got players like Ben Simmons getting emotional, getting sensitive. Everyone's trying to give him advice. Ben Simmons not listening. And now Ben Simmons is just an afterthought. Has no work ethic at all. Lonzo was getting hated on to the 5th degree, but he kept his head down and worked. That knee injury he had playing for the Chicago Bulls, that was the worst time to have an injury. The worst time. Because if you like Lonzo or not, one thing's for sure. If you're a championship team, Lonzo Ball's the perfect point guard for your team because he's not going to ask for the ball for shots. Unselfish, the most unselfish player in the league. You're not going to worry about ego with Lonzo. If Lonzo was with the Suns right now, that's perfect with their team. We got all those scores there. You know that Lonzo's not going to ball hog. You know that the pace is going to increase and the fast break is going to be dangerous. But before I go, I want everyone to, again, like this video on your way out. Share this video throughout all social media platforms. Brandon Miller. Can't wait to see what he does. Seems like a good kid from looking at the interviews. And I'm not going to judge him too harshly. If he scores a lot of points or not too many points, I'm just going to look at the intangibles. But let's not overreact on the first Summer League game. Let these players grow and develop their game. And let's see what happens. As for Jello, brother, if you're just waiting on the NBA, you're doing it wrong. You gotta take initiative. That's what being a grown man is all about. There's a lot of things we don't like to do. But being an adult, you gotta make sacrifices. The good thing about Jello, he has options and don't even know it. So I'm praying for the brother. I know everything will go well eventually. But we will be doing more of these live streams. This is RawTruth Media giving you the raw content that you deservedly need. Have a blessed day. Let negativity go past your way and keep a positive mindset. Be blessed to live on this earth. Be blessed for the family you have. Be blessed for the career you have. This is DJ, and I'm out.